The valley was unnaturally silent, the kind of quiet that set every nerve on edge. Commander Ryan Mallister crouched behind a shattered section of wall, his M4 balanced against the broken stone, each breath fogged in the frozen air around him. The remaining members of SEAL Team 6 were dug into what little cover they could find, pinned down and running out of options. They had inserted under darkness to capture a high-value Taliban commander. The intelligence had been solid, or so they thought. From the moment their boots hit the ground, everything unraveled. The enemy had been waiting. Insurgents poured down from the cliffs like hornets from a nest, gunfire ricocheting through the narrow valley. 3 hours later, ammunition was dangerously low. Their exfiltration route was cut off. The JTA C'd their lifeline to air support was dead. "We can't hold much longer," Chief Petty Officer Morales whispered, barely audible. Over the snap of incoming rounds, Mallister scanned the ridgeline. Shadows shifted between rocks. Arc fire cracked through the darkness, punctuated by the dull thump of RPGs that made the ground shudder. The enemy was tightening the noose. He keyed his radio. "This is Ghost 2-1. Danger close." "Repeat, danger close. Questing immediate." Kaz. Static filled the net. Seconds stretched. Then a calm female voice broke through. "Ghost 2-1. This is Hawkeye. 10 mics out in an A-10. Loaded heavy. Mark your position." The A-10 Thunderbolt II Warthog was a brutal aircraft. It's built around its massive 30mm GAU-8 Avenger cannon. Mallister had worked with plenty of pilots before, but the call sign was unfamiliar. "Hawkeye, friendlies at grid 269. By 413. Enemies all around us. Danger close, less than 100 meters. A brief pause, then the same steady voice. "Copy, Ghost 2-1. I'll paint the sky for you." The SEALs pressed themselves deeper into cover. Mallister could hear his own heartbeat pounding in his ears. Then, faint at first, came the sound of turbofans rolling through the valley. "There she is," Morales muttered, spotting a silver streak slicing across the night. "I have visual on your position," Hawkeye said. "Hold tight." Coming in low. The A-10 dropped into the valley like a steel predator, skimming barely 300 feet above the ground. Tracers immediately clawed upward as insurgents shifted their fire skyward. Then the cannon spoke. The roar of the GU-8 was pure violence, a metallic thunder that shook bone and earth alike. Bright orange flashes stitched across the ridge as 30mm rounds ripped through rock, dirt, and bodies. "Jesus Christ," one of the younger SEALs whispered, eyes wide. The first pass bought them precious breathing room. Insurgents scattered, some dragging wounded fighters, others diving for caves. "Good effects on target," Mallister called. "But they're regrouping on the south ridge." "Copy, Ghost," Hawkeye replied, turning for another run. She banked hard, engines howling, and came in even lower. The muzzle flashes lit the valley like a strobe light, which burst carved deep scars into the earth. Shock waves rolled over the SEALs, dirt raining onto their helmets. 4:15, relentless. Minutes, Hawkeye owned the valley strafing ridges, blasting outcroppings and silencing every position that dared to fire back. Her voice never wavered, calm and precise, as if this were routine. Finally, she spoke again. "Ghost, you're clear to move to extraction point Bravo. I'll cover." The SEALs didn't hesitate. They broke from cover, bounding in teams toward the far end of the valley. Every time enemy fire flared up, the Warthog's cannon erased it within seconds. By the time they reached the extraction zone, the fight was over. Smoke hung heavy in the air. The valley was silent again, save for boots crunching on gravel and the fading growl of the A-10 overhead. An MH-47 Chinook swept in, rotors hammering the night. As they loaded up, Mallister looked skyward. The A-10 circled high, standing watch. "Hawkeye," he said, "you saved 12 men tonight. We owe you." A soft chuckle came over the radio. "You don't owe me anything, Ghost. Just do the same for someone else someday." They made it home battered and exhausted, but alive. Mallister couldn't stop thinking about the pilot who had pulled them back from the edge. Weeks later, he finally got a name captain, Emily Carter, 74th Fighter Squadron. He found her in the hangar, standing beneath the belly of her A-10, wiping hydraulic fluid from her hands. She was younger than he expected, early 30s maybe, with sharp eyes that missed nothing. "Captain Carter," he said. She looked up, a faint smile forming. "Commander Mallister." "You're taller than you sounded on the radio," he laughed. "And you're a hell of a lot deadlier," she shrugged. "Just doing my job," he said quietly. "You flew into a meat grinder for us. Without you, we'd be names on a memorial wall." She glanced up at the aircraft, then back at him. "People think pilots are far from the fight. But from that cockpit, I feel every heartbeat on the ground. I hear the fear. I see the chaos. And I know one thing: I won't let my people die if I can stop it." In that moment, Mallister understood. She wasn't just a pilot. She was a guardian angel wrapped in titanium. Over the next year, stories of Hawkeye spread across Afghanistan. SEALs, Rangers, Marines all had tales of being saved by a pilot who flew lower than anyone else dared, who came in under fire without hesitation, who never missed when lives were on the line. The valley where SEAL Team 6 had nearly been overrun earned a new name: Angel's Run, in honor of the night captain. Emily Carter turned the tide. For the rest of his career, Mallister carried one memory like a talisman: the thunder of a GU-8 tearing through darkness, and the calm voice of a woman who refused to let them fall.